Hey everybody, it's John Robinson. The Angels took away a legend, Freddie White, just the backbone of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Rest in peace, Freddie. God, you'll be so missed. I've got many stories, but those will be for later when we honor him for the rest of our lives. And after the love is gone. Oh boy, in the stone, good night, anything. Earth, Wind, and Fire. God, he's reunited with Maurice. God bless you, and you'll be just sorely and truly missed. Love you. Bye-bye.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the Extraordinary Drummer Show. As you know, I'm your host, Cheron Moore. I always say today. Well, today we're going to take a different turn. A somber moment, but yet a celebratory moment, a moment of celebration at the same time. As you know, our dear friend and mentor and the icon himself, Fred White, the drummer from Earth, Wind, and Fire, made his transition. And I just wanted to take the time out to do a tribute to him, to acknowledge his body of work, but to acknowledge the person too. And I've spoken to so many good friends that have lived with him, traveled with him, grew up with him, and so on and so forth. But today, I got the man on the show. I got the guy on the show. This is the drummer who's, as he look around like, what are you talking about? This is the guy who's been holding that drum chair down for the last 22 years. But as you know, he's the drummer for the hit band Earth, Wind, and Fire. Will you help me welcome dear friend, John Paris. Hey, John.
Hey, brother. How are you, man?
Thank you. Welcome to the Extraordinary Drummer Show.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Today we're doing a tribute to Fred White. I want to say one of the original drummers from Earth, Wind, and Fire. John, did you know Fred?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was my guy. That was my guy. It took me a minute to break him down, but that was my guy. Yeah, man. I don't even know where to start, but yeah. That was my dude.
When did you first meet him?
Wow. You know what? I want to say when I first met, I want to say it was at Verdine and Shelley's 33rd anniversary of marriage. Yeah, that's like the first time that we actually got to really kick it. Man, yeah, and that was that was a while ago, but we'd been doing this forever. The very first time that before I played with Al, he was still playing with Al, and I was in the rehearsal, but I didn't get to meet him. It was like he disappeared, and that was back in the 90s, and I didn't get to chop it up with him then. I don't know how he walked through the walls somehow. But yeah, this was this is 23. Oh man. Wow. I'd been on the gig maybe 5-6 years or so. And then we got to chop it up.
I'm so sorry to hear about the loss of Freddie White. He's a personal friend, great drummer, and just a real good person. And all of our community is at a loss now. My condolences are to the White family and just all of us who really will miss his artistry. Freddie White.
John, did he give you any pointers on the corners and what have you of coming into the gig?
Well, by that time I had already been there for a minute, but indirectly, yeah. Indirectly he did, because I was fascinated on how he made those records feel, from Donnie down, to Little Feat, to all the records that he played. I mean, I studied him, just like I would study, any of my other heroes. I studied Freddie the same way, because that's what really moved me, was how that music felt. I'm like, well, let's investigate who's responsible for that. And it's the drummer. That's our job. That's what we're there to do, to make everybody comfortable. But what he understood, what most drummers, or I won't say most drummers, a lot of musicians don't, is his role was to do just that from a musical standpoint. It's not really just about time, but the sound of his drums, where he put that beat, his musicality, his discipline. I was constantly taking pointers for him. So when we met, you could see the smile on his face. It was mischievous. It was like, he get ready to ask, what do you want? What are you about to ask me? And I would never talk to him about drums. And I think he appreciated that. Later on we got to kick it, but the first few times, like, no, because I could see it in him, that he was like, yeah, you sitting in my chair, but I don't know if it was almost like, let's see how long you gonna be. I didn't know. I was trying to read it, but I could see it, that there was no, it ain't time yet, but I got to kick it with Maurice a lot, and he loved to talk about it, but Freddie was like, all right, he was that, like that uncle who was making you earn it kind of thing. It's like, you take that shot in front of me, you knock it out of your head, go get it. Go get them now. Come on back if you want this, That was kind of how it went down between he and I. But man, I loved it. I appreciated it because he earned it.
Cheron, thanks for the opportunity to speak about Freddie a little bit. I just found out about his passing last night and was pretty saddened by it. In 1977, I was musical director for Denise Williams, and we traveled with Earth, Wind, and Fire. We did 80 shows together, and I got to know all those guys, Freddie, Verdine, Maurice. They were just the coolest people. It was just great being around them and hearing them every night and getting to know Freddie and hearing him play. And they were at the height of their powers. They were so awesome, one of the greatest live bands ever. And Freddie was right there, pushing it. It was just a wonderful thing to be around him and those guys and that experience. And so, I'm just saddened by it. And my condolences to, Verdine and the rest of the family members, Earth, Wind, and Fire guys. And, God bless him. He was just a wonderful guy.
Brother Fred White has transitioned, but man, he has left a legacy. Growing up listening to him back there, one of the OGs, EWF, him and Ralph Johnson, he'll be sorely missed, but what a legacy. Rest in peace, Brother Fred.
When you were hanging with him, did he expect you to play it kind of like he did, like the record, like he did? Or how did you go about adding your own stuff to it and conversation with him, not just on the drums?
It was very minimal. And I could tell, and what I got to learn later about him, what that smile meant. Because he knew, because, some cats can be arrogant, and if they don't know where that, where the vibration is coming from, they can challenge you, or that's so-and-so. He might think he ain't really saying nothing to me, he blah, 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 blah. And you could just put up, have all this stuff going on in your head and not really know. But what he heard and what he said to me one day at Maurice's memorial. Larry came up and played. Larry Dunn came up and played Spirit, which was one of my favorite songs. And you could tell, something really serious had went down with those guys. They had just lost Charles Stephanie, the great Charles Stephanie, and we were playing that tune. And from there, I could kind of feel like I'm gonna, I still have to be focused and relaxed and all of this. And so at the end of it, he said, I actually saw him later after that. And he said, and this is why it meant so much to me, because, a gang of time that went by before I saw him again. And he said, man, I really enjoyed the way you played the memorial, the way you expressed yourself was really, really, really cool, man. And I appreciate it. Nice and relaxed and just right in there. And that same smile that I was misreading years ago popped on his face. And I'm like, oh, okay, he knows that I'm saying hello to him on these records, and that okay, that's when it registered. And that's when the whole, because, I have some issues too. So I would put a little shell up also. And that's when mine dropped from him. And I understood what that smile meant. That broke me down too. I was like, okay, got it. I got it. He's saying thank you in his way, because a lot of people think that, to make a contribution to the drum world, it has to be, almost physically impossible type of a thing. And it's not really what music is about for me. And, his contribution should be up there with all the rest of them. And we're going to keep poking that down the industry's throat until they realize it, because that's why they dance into Boogie Wonderland in September and all these tunes they love to jump around on, because of him.
I'm Jim Keltner, and I want to say hi, Cheron. Thanks for inviting me to share a few words about the great Freddie White. I'll make it short and sweet. Earth, Wind, and Fire was my favorite band, and for many years. And everything they did was like a template for me as a recording musician, as a person who's done pretty much nothing but play on records all my life. Feel and sound have been everything. And then if you're lucky to be playing with genius level people, with incredibly beautiful songs, then, it's not work. It wasn't work anyway. But Freddie always had the sound and the feel, the space between the notes with Freddie White. It just doesn't get any better. It was just exquisite. And of course, he was working with the genius of Maurice White, arrangement-wise and stuff. And so he couldn't go wrong, really. But Freddie, God bless his soul, was a tremendous inspiration for many of my great drummer friends. And as I say, I just wanted to emulate that feel all my life in the studios, which has been a long time. So that's it. Please, Lord, rest his soul and bring comfort to his family and loved ones left behind. Amen.
I was so sorry to hear about Freddie White's passing. He was so young, 67 years old. I just want to say Earth, Wind, and Fire is one of my favorite groups of all time. And I fed it to my children at an early age, became my daughter's favorite group at a very, very young age, maybe 10 years old. She stole my Earth, Wind, and Fire t-shirt and wore it to death. And I no longer had my Earth, Wind, and Fire t-shirt. Freddie propelled that band, grooved it like nobody's business. I'm sure he's making a lot of people dance up above right now. Rest in peace, my friend, and make 'em groove. Thanks for all the great music.
John, most people come from some place in their playing, hard times, blues, whatever. Did he ever express what was under that? What causes that?
Did Freddie ever express it?
Yes.
You know, I never got to ask him, but I'm looking at some of the photos, you know, of just his spirit. And I wish I had asked him that. That's a brilliant question because, you know, there's something in there that we don't know, that he don't talk about, that we can only hear and feel in them records. But I would have loved to hear him articulate that verbally. No, man, I would have loved to ask him that, man. That's a really good question. But we know that there's something else other than just I know how to play these drums in there, which does that I think which we all do apply. You know, you can tell, you know, a drummer that ain't trying to you know, trying to keep himself out of the streets, or somebody that was just given a brand new $10,000 drum set at the age of 5. It could be gifted, but you could tell it's a little different. They play a little different. So I don't want to speak for his lifestyle as a kid, but I know there's something in there because he has. Whew, there was just a sense of emotion and command that, like I say, you would have to earn, you know, from just years of living, you know, that he was able to articulate at a young age, man. Amazing.
Hi, Dennis Chambers here. Just want to say a few words about Freddie White. What a great guy. I'm really going to miss him. Really going to miss him. And I've been trying to hunt him down for the last, 5 months, 6 months, maybe. I couldn't find him, couldn't reach him, and then I hear this. What a shame. But, I mean, he was a great guy, you know, and I'm really going to miss him. I really am. I'm really going to miss him. We got kind of close there in the last few years, actually, and just shocked to hear this. But anyway, you know, rest in peace, Freddie, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.
John, how did you learn of Freddie's illness, and what was that scene like?
It was sudden. We didn't know. I think the 3 guys heard because we were on our way back home from Atlantic City, and he transitioned that night before. So when we got off the plane, you know, we got to the airport relatively early in the morning. You know, flew all day, and it was maybe 5 o'clock. And I started getting texts from a bunch of people. In fact, our trombone player, Reggie Young, hey man, I saw something on Facebook. Is this a hoax? Is this true? It said that Freddie passed. I was like, what? It's like, no. It's like, no, this has got to be a hoax. So I went over to Verdine and grabbed him by the side. I was like, hey, and he said, no, it's true. It's real. It happened, and they didn't want to say anything until they got everybody together on the same page to make a statement. So we were in transit when we found out nobody knew, so in that way, yeah, it was shocking.
Yeah, same here. I think I saw it on the internet, but then I saw it on the news, and it floored me. It really touched me. Had you spoken to him in that time of his illness, and did he leave you any parting words?
It'd been a while, and I'd been reaching out to him for some, you just feel like you got to reach out to somebody. I'd been reaching out to him, and this was months went by, and I didn't get any response. So, but I didn't think anything of it because, that went on for years, and then he would just pop up somewhere. So that's the hard part for me because, I just was expecting him to pop up like he always does. And then that happened. So yeah, it was tough.
Hi, I'm Tristan Bowden. I'd like to say a few words about Freddie White. Freddie, to me, exemplified everything I could ever hope to be as a drummer. He played for the song no matter what. It was all about the song, man. And if I could ever aspire to get even as close as he did every time he played live or any recording he was on, I'd be a happy man. He was, by the time he was 18, he was a professor of groovology, had a PhD and a doctorate, man, in pocket and groove playing. I mean, like so many of us, I got hip to him first on that Donny Hathaway Live at the Troubadour album. Man, that thing was just a college course, man, and how to play in the moment, before the song, support the singer, and man, he and Willie Weeks absolutely slam dunked that. Not to mention all the stuff, Earth, Wind, and Fire stuff. Oh my God, he and Verdine. Anyway, Freddie, rest in peace, my brother. You will be sorely missed. And thank you for all that you gave to all of us. Thanks.
Back in the late 70s, as a teenager, me and a bunch of my friends piled into a car and we drove out to Long Island, to the Nassau Coliseum, to see our all-time favorite band in the world. And that was Earth, Wind, and Fire. And to be in the room with Earth, Wind, and Fire and to hear the thunder of Fred White on drums was just phenomenal. To this day, it stands as one of the most memorable and magical concert experiences that I ever had in my life. And I'm just grateful that I got a chance to experience Freddie White live, powering Earth, Wind, and Fire with that amazing pocket and that incredible groove and sound. Wow. Freddie White, thank you for the music. Thank you for the groove. Rest in peace. Rest in power, my brother. Thank you.
What's the one thing you take away from him that will shape you and make you, and even as a musician?
Man, the concept of making everybody else great, making everybody else around you like the assist man, setting everybody up, setting that table, you know, to where we go, okay, that's exactly, there's no question about how this should feel, because he just said it. So I know how I'm putting this bass around this keyboard guitar rhythms. I know already, because Freddie just said it. It's right here. When I'm writing, when I'm playing live in the studio, it doesn't matter. That's the first thing I do when somebody hands me a tune. You know, it's usually a drum machine demo. That's the first, okay, can I have it without the drums? I don't even really want much percussion on it to see how I can make these parts speak together as well as possible when we play it live. And he was the king of that, man. So my job and nod to him for the rest of my career will be always the music first. Make sure everybody's comfortable, like, you know, a security guard. You know, we're going to make sure that everybody knows that we right here. We're not right here. We right here without any question, with a smile. I'm not going to take my shirt off, but I might do this, but keeping my shirt on.
That was my next question. I said, in tribute to him, you think he ever take his shirt off and do that thing when he stood up in the air and threw the sticks away?
No, ain't that about to happen.
Come on, John, one time.
No, I can't. I'm chickening out. I can't. No. I can't get away with it.
I would love to see it. I just love to see it. I want to see it on YouTube. I just want to see it. Did y'all see what John did? Oh, the tribute.
You know what would be a trip, though? If I did something like that, as hard as I've been working, as digging as hard, if I do something like that, that's what would probably blow me up.
Man, you would.
Skinny dude, he took his shirt off.
Freddie White's groove will live on forever. You know, he played on so many records. Beyond Earth, Wind, and Fire, Donny Hathaway, some Little Feat, 1974, I think. I got to see a drum clinic he did in Chicago in October of 84. His first him, then Steve Smith. It was a really special night. So anyway, rest in peace, Freddie. Thanks for all the grooves and all the music.
Inspired me immensely. I mean, he was great. He was in the pocket. He was a grooving, black, soulful, funky soul drummer. When black music meant something more so than it does today, when it was like it's a way to be a black music and musician and play black music. He had all of that soul and that funkin', and I mean, he played with Donny Hathaway before he played with his brother's band. And from what I understand, he was like a little kid, like myself and many, just playing on pots and pans, and bam, that's what we were born to do. And you could tell his love for the drums, the way he played with Earth, Wind, and Fire. I listened to him every week. I listened to Gratitude, and when he was grooving, you could hear when he and Ralph were playing together. You can tell which one was Freddie. Freddie had that groove, that pocket thing. It was just funky, solid, funky.
Let me say thank you so very much for being on the Extraordinary Drummer Show.
I'm honored, man, to be here, and especially to talk about our big brother Fred, man. And once again, bro, I'm really so proud of you, you know, for doing the show at all, and particularly this one, man. So congrats and hat tip to you, bro. Thank you, man, for doing this. We need to, you know, get this out there and let everybody know how much we love him. And we're gonna miss that guy, man.
I'll say you're welcome, but to God be the glory.
Amen.
And then that he deserved it. From the Extraordinary Drummer Show, we know that he was a pioneer.
Amen.
You could tell by the equipment alone. I mean, compared to what they're playing these days, those guys put amazing chops on, like trash can chops, you know.
Yes,
and
sir.
So from the Extraordinary Drummer Show, we just love him, still love him, and we will continue to admonish him, his body of work, and him as the person. So again, thank you so very much. Would you help me wave goodbye to all the fans?
See you guys. Oh wait, hold on. Let me take my shirt off. No. I hate to get you. Thank you, Brother C. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you again.
Yes, sir.
Mike Noble here. Just wanted to send my deepest condolences to the Fred White family. He was truly one of the greatest of all times. He's definitely going to be missed. My prayers are with the family in this time of need.
I'm James Carter, the former drummer for R&B singer Teddy Pendergrass. I was very saddened about the news of Fred White. Oh my God. You know, Fred White was a very, very tasty drummer. And to be able to carry one of the greatest bands in the world, Earth, Wind, and Fire, I mean, and hold that band down with that pocket. I mean, at simplicity at its best, very tasty. I mean, it was tastier than grandma's favorite meal. Fred White, y'all. Rest in peace.
Peace and love to everyone. This is Jeff Tane Watts, Go Steelers, hitting you from Australia. This is all about the great Fred White. He inspired me as a young man, trying to learn about the drums, playing along with those beautiful records. That's the Way of the World, and Gratitude, and Spirit, and all in all. I saw 2 tours of Earth, Wind, and Fire at a place called the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, legendary Civic Arena, where I saw also the C.P. Funk and James Brown and the Jackson 5. I went to the Spirit Tour and also the All in All Tour and saw them, and they were just magical shows that not only inspired me as a musician, they made me want to be a better person. And people that love that music, they know exactly what I'm saying. Years later, I went to see, while I was at Berkeley College, I took a bus from Boston to Providence, Rhode Island, and saw them. And that's when Fred was playing. He was doing the drum chair alone, and that was great. And it's just perfect drums, just the way drums were supposed to sound, funky and musical. And their music, it just exposed me to everything. Exposed me to jazz and world music and Brazilian and African music. And they would always sound better than the record. You're going to hear this from many people. Years later, Fred White came to a gig I did with Branford Marsalis at a place called Rick's American Cafe in Chicago. And he sat in and played some Coltrane. He did a good job and was humble and beautiful. And, the stuff with Johnny Hathaway is priceless. Him being a teenager, it's amazing. That pocket and that musicianship, it all just blew me away. And I just appreciate him being cool. I appreciate what he gave to the world. He changed the world a couple times, at least with the between those different different bands, and you know, I thought I was going to see him again. I look forward to seeing Fred down the road. I looked forward to that, but I guess I'll see him on the other side. Peace and love to everybody. Condolences to the White family and people that love that music. Thank you, Earth, Wind & Fire specifically, for what you gave to the world and what you continue to do now. That's about it. Happy New Year. Be good to each other. Continue to love music and each other. Black Lives Matter. Be safe. Thank you.
This is Tim Horton from Kool and the Gang. And I just want to give my heartfelt condolences to the White family and to the whole family of Earth, Wind & Fire for the loss of Fred White. Truly iconic drummer, legendary, and truly an influence on me in my life. God bless you, and God keep you. Peace.
Mr. Freddie White, thank you, sir, for all the inspiration you've given me over the years. I remember seeing Earth, Wind & Fire as a young kid for the first time in Dayton, Ohio at UD Arena. And you was holding it down, making the band feel good. That was a big lesson for me, is to make the band feel good.
Hey all, Mike Clark here, drummer Mike Clark. I just wanted to comment on the great drummer and musician Fred White. Now it seems to me I remember him with Ramsey Lewis, but that could be my Alzheimer's kicking in. But I definitely first heard of him with Donny Hathaway. And then when I was with Herbie Hancock, we did several, maybe a week or two, I can't remember, worth of gigs opposite Earth, Wind & Fire. And I heard the record, and the drumming stood out to me on the record. I'm like, man, this cat's got a hell of a backbeat. And then when I heard him live, I was like, well, wait, this guy is obviously a jazz artist of some type, if not a total jazz. I mean, he was playing, man. He had some very sophisticated stuff, and he was a great drummer. And anyway, I'm saddened that he passed away at 67 years old. Anyway, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Fred. Okay, brother.
Hi, Cindy Blackman Santana here. My heart goes out to the family, friends, loved ones, and fans of Freddie White, drummer, Earth, Wind & Fire drummer. And man, that band, what a staple in music, what a staple in kind of the backdrop of our lives, because they had so many hit songs. The music just felt great, and Freddie was a huge part of that. You know, when I saw Earth, Wind & Fire early on in high school, there were two drummers, Ralph and Freddie, and man, Freddie was, you know, they were all great, and Freddie was so solid and so funky, such a great feel. The music just made you want to dance. So, you know, we thank him for that, and wish him blessings and love and light on his new journey. Again, our hearts go out to the family, and yeah, we love the music, and that will live on forever. So thank you for that. Thank you for touching our hearts, Freddie. We love you.
Hello, my name is Darrell Harris, and I would like to extend my condolences to the family, the White family at this time. God be with you, and I'm praying for you all. Just to reflect a little bit on Fred, he has been such an enhancement in my career as a drummer. And I just remember coming up as a kid, going down to the garage and putting those headphones on back in the day and rehearsing to a lot of those, most of those, if not all of those Earth, Wind & Fire tunes, and really learning them and getting them down pat and going out and playing with different bands, and boy, it was great. And Fred, thank you so much for what you've done to the drumming community as a whole. And I just want to say rest in peace, and God be with the family. And again, my condolences. And I'm praying for you. Thank you so much for allowing me an opportunity to share a little bit. And God bless you. Take care.
Hey everybody, it's Greg Bissonette here, and I'm honored to be asked to say a few words about the great drummer Fred White. I saw Freddie play so many times with Earth, Wind & Fire back in Detroit where I grew up. They would play a lot at Olympia Hockey Arena. That was always super fun. And I've just played so much with Fred in my headphones, man. Just in high school and in college, just holding that groove. And all the great drum parts and great songs. What an inspiration. This is going to be more of a celebration to Fred White. I'm just very, very shocked, as everyone I'm sure is, and I'm so sorry that he's passed away, but I just want to thank him and celebrate his life and thank him for the soul and the fun and the joy that I will always get out of listening to those amazing Earth, Wind & Fire albums. So I thank you, Fred, for your joy you've given me and given all of us. All right. God bless Fred White. Take care.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jacoby Gunter, and I wanted to take time out to express my gratitude to Mr. Fred White. We all have been blessed beyond measures with his incredible contributions to the music industry. My prayers go out to his family and friends. Thank you, Mr. Fred White, and you will be missed.